Hi Pooja. Pooja meeting
Hi.
Pooja. So Pooja is the co-founder and the product head and marketing also you manage at Do It Zero, which is a sustainability startup. And I'll let you tell us a little more about what this company is about, what's the problem you're solving, and how's it going for you?
Sure. So Do It Zero is an environmental sustainability organization, and we are trying to solve the issues around and drive circular economy. What we have is an eco-action platform where we organize initiatives and we help organizations to engage with their customers as well as their employees to participate in these eco initiatives. And the initiatives could be digitally enabled initiatives, or it could be on-ground initiatives.
Got it. So this is a B2B sort of arrangement
It's a
where the
B2B2E.
company is paying and for the employees, and then each employee will have access to materials, probably activity plans also on what all they can do.
Yes. So we have a groups functionality where basically through a group code, any organization can deploy any kind of an initiative from our library. The employees have to, so for example, I'll give you an example. If it is an electronic waste collection drive, they have to bring electronic waste, they have to take a picture and scan the QR code at the collection zone. A web form opens up where they just upload that picture, provide some description about it, and that's it, they submit. So we help digitize the entire format. Once we collect that data, we are able to provide report, which is called impact report to the organizations in terms of how many employees actually have participated by scanning the QR code, how many have actually deposited the waste, and how much material has been collected is taken from our collection partner, where they weigh it. They further goes to the dismantler and the e-waste recycler, and then the entire material workflow details are given to us, which we convert into a greenhouse gas emission number.
Got it.
So we give this impact to an individual employee as well as to the organization, where they can see they're truly making an impact.
Right. So this is product would be mostly for the corporates who might be having mandates also around driving some of these activities, or probably measuring carbon footprint and how they've reduced it. Is this mostly for the bigger MNCs?
So it applies to everybody because Scope 3 emissions, which is a part of employee commute to the organization, as well as business travel, is a use case across. But as far as our target areas is concerned, we are focusing more on the white collar workforce, more IT-enabled services, GCC kind of workforce.
Right.
Because these are, because they have a higher carbon footprint also from a traveling point of view.
Got it.
And like you rightly said, carbon footprint, which is work-related carbon footprint, is becoming a mandatory, obligation for all these organizations,
Correct.
large organizations.
And since this is a tech product company, of course, driven towards the environment side, have you already raised funds, or are you bootstrapping right now?
It's very, very initial state, pre-seed, I would say, where the funds have been raised primarily from friends and family by the founder. We will be raising funds by the end of this year or early 2025.
Okay. Understood. And how much will you be looking for?
See, that's a tricky question.
Okay.
In terms
it's
of
not formulated fully yet.
because right now we are looking at. So we have done a product market fit, and we already have a very good pipeline of prospects where there is definitely a need and interest from the market. But right now we are rolling out a lot more proof of concepts, and because this is a novel concept, everybody wants to do it. I think the question that we need to validate for ourselves is that people really see a value when they see reporting, because nobody's providing that reporting.
Okay.
So initially we are in that stage.
Right. And are there other competitors who are also doing something similar?
There are a lot of organizations who are primarily doing Scope 1, Scope 2, Scope 3 kind of a reporting. And Scope 3 also is done at a very, very small scale by taking survey from the employees.
What is Scope 1, Scope 2, Scope 3?
So Scope 1 is primarily about the manufacturing facilities where, your raw material cost, etc. Is a part of Scope 1. Scope 2 is all about your electricity and the consumption, the building expenses, etc. And Scope 3 is all your consumers, your customers, and your employees. So how is the post-consumption, how are you disposing of the waste?
So you're getting in the Scope 3 part
we
of
are getting into the limited area of Scope 3.
So all the cyber hub companies, or companies which have massive number of people count, those are the companies where
Absolutely,
you can
yes.
get it.
And this is one model. We also have a B2B2C model, which is for customers.
Acha.
It's basically primarily for electronics giants, plastic producers, FMCG companies, because we are
Acha.
also addressing the issue around waste and pollution. So while we conduct these collection drives, we also want to we are not directly playing in the EPR game, right, which is producer responsibility, extended producer responsibility. But we want to make sure that there is a direct engagement model with the customer by these brands.
So
Example, Pepsi, would they like to directly engage with their customers to bring back their plastic bottle back?
Right?
Understood.
So like I went to an Apple showroom recently, and apart from the Apple staff, there were also people from Cashify who were dealing with return, any return deals if we do while purchasing a new laptop, let's say. So is that something on the cards? And then will we see your teams also in these centers, or you want to keep it a purely tech game?
So we are primarily a tech organization, but we do definitely need partners on ground to take back services.
Understood.
And yes, Apple definitely is one of the most forthcoming organizations in terms of sustainability and even marketing organization. So they do have some kind of schemes. And exactly this is what we want to introduce it to almost any player, where after electronics, after 7 years, the life of the product. So the end of life disposal by the end customer. What is the organized mechanism of collection and disposal in the organized formal sector? Right now, what is happening is a lot of the waste is going in the informal sector.
Yeah, understood.
Like in your kabadiwalas, right, or your rack pickers, and that channel is creating a little bit of a environmental pollution because these guys, in Muradabad, for example, is a very well-known place where it's being burnt, etc., and then they extract these metals and all. So that is harming the environment. So we have to move it more and more into the organized sector.
Got it. So the tech product is fully ready, and are you revenue generating?
A little bit, yes. We have a few paying clients as well. But like I said, we are focusing again a lot more on the proof of concepts, at least in this quarter, because from a product functionality perspective, we have an eco-initiative library where 4 or 5 of our initiatives are already ready, at least on-ground initiatives, but more are in pipeline. They are already in process of developing.
Right.
So first quarter will be absolutely ready to roll it out.
Got it. So Pooja, you've studied from IIM Bangalore, right? And then you worked in some of the top corporates that we've heard of. And after that, you took this plunge into entrepreneurship, and then that too into the environment, sustainability space. So what were those 1 or 2 things that actually made you take that jump?
Yeah, that's a good question. So in fact, my co-founder and I got connected only on that passion for the environment. And while I worked with corporates for 17 years, when I took a break after that, this is one area on water conservation that I, as a project, I was doing it in my society. So I led that project where I realized that our RO wastewater is 3 times, 4 times more than what we consume. The wastewater that gets. So we created a solution around it, and we made sure that at least 50% of the residents in our society of 350 started using it. And I created an entire marketing plan around it, awareness plan, and then we also tracked it, and we realized that we were saving so many thousands of liters of water on a daily basis.
That's amazing. This was done in Gurgaon?
No, I stay in NCR, Indrapuram. So we did that in one of the societies in Indrapuram.
Amazing. Super.
And then of course we started looking at plastic waste, and we've already given 5,000 kgs of plastic waste to the waste management partner.
Very nice, very nice. So are you hiring right now, or is the team going to stay like that till the next phase?
Core team is going to be only 3 as of now, but we do work with interns. We've been working with interns from institutes, mostly from IITs. And we have a tech team which is outsourced. So other than that, core team hiring is not going to happen immediately, but we will be looking for that.
Got it. Okay, so I have some questions which are going to be more like a rapid fire. Okay, so you can just take quick seconds to answer.
Sure.
Bootstrap for 10 years versus raise funds in the first 6 months.
I would go with bootstrap for 10 years. Probably 10 years is a little bit stretched.
Sure.
But still, I think that is better, because as I have understood from my co-founders, who's a very seasoned entrepreneur, is that it's very, very important to generate revenues in the beginning rather than
customer money is more important than investor money.
And satisfaction with the end customer, finding value, giving true value to the customer, recognized by the customer, is most important as of now.
Got it. If you have money in the bank to pay only one of these 3, which of these would you prioritize? 1, a vendor whose payment is due for over 2 months, an investor whose payment is due in that month, And third, a customer who has won some cash reward.
Of course, definitely customer, no doubt about it. Customer is always
Okay,
comes
perfect. For your leadership team, would you, if you were to hire and expand, and let's assume you are at a place where you now need a 10-member leadership team, would you look at IIT, IIM grads, or would you look at tier 2 city youth?
Well, our focus area, so we have 3-4 criteria when we think about hiring. Even in interns, we look at the same. One is passionate for the environment. Because somebody who's not passionate, whose her own lifestyle or his own lifestyle is not about that, that's a little bit of a challenge to gel with the culture of the organization. Second is an ability to learn. So you should have an open mind in terms of learning. And so where you come from, I think that matters less. Tier 2 or tier 1 doesn't matter. Definitely a good educational degree in terms of skills that you have learned are very, very important. So we will be looking at that.
Got it. If you were to hire the first person, the first hire will be in sales or operations?
Sales. We are already thinking about customer sales, kind of an organization. We already have a plan.
Remote team versus in-office teams. What works best?
Well, since COVID days, I think remote teams are working fine, but in-office has its own charm.
So in-office is better.
Yes.
Okay. One thing that you learned about entrepreneurship after starting up, which you didn't know earlier.
Never give up. Just stay on the path. Keep pivoting if you need to, but stay on the path.
Great. Superb. Anything else that you would want to tell your possible customers who might be listening?
I mean, I think the one thing that I would love to say is whatever that you do it zero. And our slogan is also be a hero, do it zero.
Wow, that's nice. So do it zero basically is coming from the fact that you bring your carbon footprint down to zero.
Any action that you take, think about what is the impact that you're creating for the environment.
Like for example, today we are attending this Thai event, right? What could we have done to keep ourselves sustainable or bring our carbon footprint down?
Yeah, any event that we do, I think largely now we have started seeing, especially in Thai events, they've completely eliminated plastic bottles. So there are glass water bottles now, right, which can be reused. Second is, at least in such events, it is still easier, but I think more is if you create a bin separately, the plastic waste bins or the other kind of bins separately, then that's always better because you are actually encouraging segregation at source, right? And more vegetarian food.
Right. And for the people who are attending, what could they have done to make their day zero?
Absolutely make sure that your travel to the place where you're attending the event, if it can be a public transport, nothing like it, but even if it's a private transport, can it be carpool, sharing basis? Then that's definitely
or maybe use of electric vehicles.
Definitely, electric vehicle is another.
Understood. Great, Pooja. Lovely speaking to you.
Same here, Pooja. Thank you so much for inviting me. Thank you.